All right, everybody, welcome, you guys. So this is our executive class 2.0. I think this is we'll say it's our second official one of the 90-day action plan. I'm super excited for tonight. Hopefully we're going to have some pretty good shares, and have people just kind of step up and talk about their week.
No.
As you guys hop on, if you can mute yourself, that'd be awesome. So, I'll go ahead and mute everybody. Hold on just a second. All right, so I just muted everybody. So you guys, is there anybody who wants to talk about, some wins or, maybe some frustrations from the week? Does anybody want to go ahead and share some things that happened this week? Someone is still not muted.
I'll go.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody can hear me.
Who is this? Is this Abby?
Good.
All right, Ab, we're ready.
I think my connection's really bad.
I can hear you.
Okay. Well, some wins for me this week is I had a coffee date with one of my mom's friends, who's been like a second mom to me, and kind of, really talking to her about the products. I've talked to her before, and she was like, well, I eat real food and wasn't really open to it before. And so she finally said yes to sitting down to a coffee date, and she's really looking into actually maybe fully going forward and buying products. So it was really cool to kind of go from, no, that's totally not my thing, to, okay, I'm kind of open to it. I love what you're talking about, and let me read up on it, and being open to kind of maybe getting started soon. So that was super exciting.
That's awesome, Abby. So can you kind of maybe just talk a little bit about how did you go about setting that up? I know you said that because we're going to talk about objections next week, but maybe can you just kind of give us how did you handle that?
I kind of just asked her, more so to just like, hey, I'm not asking for any promises. I'm not looking for you to say, yes, you need to start this. I'm just looking for you to just be open-minded and for me to tell you a story and why this has changed my life. And I feel like when I went at it and, more so to this, like, hey, I just want to teach you and show you kind of like what this did for me and why I think it will be great for you, and kind of just ask them to be open-minded. And it's it's a big ask, and sometimes it's hard to ask people to do that, and we're
I think we lost her, but that's really good. That's really, really good. Thank you so much, Abby. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
I was there.
Oh, you were there. Okay, good.
So I can kind of speak to how that went down. It's Celebration. That was the message that she sent when they said, send a message to someone who could really benefit from Kenya's, is her name Kenya?
Yeah.
I think I said it wrong. Kenya's story. And so that was who she sent her message to. And so it was really cool to see that come to fruition, and then to be able to sit down and listen to Abby talk, about her story and how it's changed her life. I took over for you, girlie. I see you're back moving now, so I think you're, and there were some objections during the presentation, and Abby was like, you know what, yep, we're here to educate and to share, and, whatever you decide to do, no harm done. Like, no, there's no hard feelings, nothing. We're just here to share with you what this could be for you. And so that was awesome to see, and I think she even brought her daughters, so that was cool too. So her daughters got to take that in and see that, and hopefully excited for her, and sounds like she's ready. So
that's awesome. Thank you guys for sharing. Anybody else? How about win? Anybody? Any wins?
Yes, I have a win. This is Susan.
Hey, Susan.
So I have a lifetime friend of 27 years. We work out together, we walk together, and I just asked her last week if she'd be willing to give the Forever Pack a try. We've talked about, as we do our walks and workouts, she's inquired, and I just flat out asked her, and she bought the Forever Pack this week, and I'm excited for her to get started.
That's awesome, Susan. So you just been talking to her back and forth, or did you?
Yep.
So what was the final thing that you said to her? Were you just kind of like, what did you say?
I said, would you be willing to give the Forever Pack a try? told her the price point, told her to try it for 30 days, money back guarantee. She's got nothing to lose. And she said, oh, she didn't even ask any questions. She just said, okay, I'll try it.
It's awesome. Love it. Thank you. All right. Anybody else? Wins? Frustrations? No?
So I was moving the last 2 weeks ever since Nashville. I've been moving one daughter to college in Ohio, flying home to Florida, getting in the car and driving to Indiana and dropping my other daughter off at college. And we're actually on our way home. We're almost home. But in the process, it's been awesome because I've been able to meet people on campus, and I wasn't able to listen to, what was her name? I'm sorry,
Laura.
Laura, sorry, fully before we got on campus. But I heard her part where she said, when people ask you what you do, how she responds. And so I would say someone can do that. With a company called, have you heard of it? She goes, oh no, and tell me more about it. So she's interested and really excited for her because I could just see she's under.
We're losing Karen. We're losing. Yeah. That's good. We're going to hit on it. We're going to hit on what Laura said. So that's really good. Thank you.
One phrase, real.
Okay. I think we can't hear you. That's okay. All right, you guys. So that's good. So we're going to try to keep the shares at like 8, 10. Then we're committing to move on. So I'm going to share my screen, you guys, and I'm just going to kind of recap the week. And if you guys had a chance to watch Laura Stevens, the video, her training was amazing. She is a master connector. It's huge. So I'm just going to kind of go over some points that I took away. They're great, and I kind of took the scripts that she shared. So hope you guys take pictures tonight. You can use these and some pointers. And a lot of the things that she said, we do as a team. So I think, a lot of people walked away. You're walking away with some peace, knowing that, okay, we're doing everything right. We just got to let the time pass. And so a couple of things, you guys, I just want to, before we get started, I just am so grateful for every single person on this Zoom. And, we're all coming together as one team, and it is just such a beautiful thing. You guys, we have 36 people on here. And so just know that you have 36 people who are doing this hustle. They got your back. We're all doing the same thing. We're going through it together. And, just taking that 30 minutes that we're going to have together on Sundays and come together and celebrate our wins and our frustrations. And it's okay to get frustrated, at times. And it's okay to, be super proud of yourself and celebrate your victory, and just know that this is a safe place to do that. And we're going to use that second 30 minutes. We're going to hop off, and we've got a number of accountability threads going, and a lot of them are rocking and rolling. And you guys are setting up separate accountability Zooms. Like, I'm in like 4 or 5 different threads that are actually doing that, and I was blown away. And so instead of having to do that on another night, we're going to just give you guys some time after this, so hopefully that works. So I'm going to share my screen really quick. And it's, not very pretty, but it gets the job done. All right. And I'm going to go quickly through this, you guys, because I don't want to waste your time. And I know many of you did watch the video. All right, you guys. So these are some, reflections. So some things. So if we could take like 1 minute right now, and I'm hoping you guys will just blow up the chat. Okay. Take a second, and reflection is huge, you guys, when building a successful business, and so, I do journal, I do reflect, I write down, what I did well. And sometimes at the end of the week, it's like, you can't be frustrated with yourself because you didn't do much this week, and that's okay. That's just real. And that's, and when I write that down, it's my realization that my frustration is coming from my lack of action. And I think a lot of us can relate. So, so if you guys could take a second right now, and we're just going to kind of be quiet for a minute. And if you guys could type in the chat, how did you do on these 4 things, you know, and not a lot of people are going to read that chat, but just get it down on paper. Or if you'd rather write it in your notebook so you have it personally, that's totally fine. But let's take a minute right now and reflect on how we did this week.
I'm sorry. I had poor listening, apparently. Did you say we're supposed to type this in the chat?
If you want to, or if you want to write it in your notebook, that's fine too. Whatever works. All right, cool. Thanks for typing that in the chat, you guys. That's awesome. Very, very cool. And if you guys want to keep typing while I'm talking, that's totally fine. You guys, the one thing, and I'm sure, you know, we all kind of feel the same way. We're all doing the same actions. And so I hadn't actually recreated my list in a really long time. I was working off this old list, and I've made like, I don't know, a couple hundred friends since the old list. And so one of my biggest takeaways from Laura was getting your list down and adding to my list. So I'm going to be more diligent. So like my list, and then if I get a new friend, and there's a feature on Facebook that has friends, recent friends. So there's really no excuse. I just wasn't being diligent about it, you know. And so reflecting on what you're doing is huge, and kind of owning where you can grow is only going to help you, you know. And the one thing I realized that I'm weak at is following up in a timely manner. So I'm good at following up, but not timely. And so for me, a strategy I'm going to start implementing is making my reaches smaller and my follow-ups more focused, you know, because Laura was like quality over quantity, you know, and she just really had some really good things to say. Okay, so I'm just going to run through this, all right? And I love Laura. She keeps it real. And I just love that she's like so pregnant and she's pouring into us. It's so great. You know, she's just awesome. So if you're weird, they're going to feel weird. And that's something that is so true. You guys, you know, I mean, and there's that cliche quote or whatever, which is so not cliche anymore. Your vibe attracts your tribe. But, you know, if you feel weird when you're reaching out to somebody, they're going to totally feel that coming from you. You know, just like if you think it's expensive, they're going to think it's expensive. It's just real. It's the law of vibration, you know. And so this is what Karen was talking about, the verbiage that Laura uses. So if you guys want to take a picture of this, I love this. I'm going to start saying this, you know, because I have said in the past, we own a virtual health and wellness franchise company with Isagenix. And I actually just read this article about why franchising is great. And I'm like, okay, gotta make a shift. We're gonna switch it up here. You know, so I partner with a health and wellness company called Isagenix. Have you heard of it? That's so easy. It's so easy to say, you know, and asking somebody that question. And then if they say no, oh my gosh, you would love it. Do you want some more information? It's like, so it's just easy. It's easy, you know. And then if people reach out to you, be bold. And that was huge. So, you know, I had somebody who reached out to me this week and I was bold. I'm like, when do you have time to get on the phone? Let's do this. Let's get you enrolled, you know? And so we set a call for this week, you know, and she's going to enroll. We just don't know what she's going to enroll with yet, but it's like, just be bold. And with the people that do reach out to you, following up is huge because people get busy, you know, and be intentional. And I love that be intentional with your stories. your stories, your Instagram, your Facebook stories. And if you guys don't necessarily know how to do that, reach out to somebody because they know how to do it. You know, like I know how to do it. I know there's a lot of people on this Zoom that know how to do it. But getting consistent on those stories in your social media and then following that simple system of adding them to the page, tagging them in something, and then getting them in a three-way message. Guys, I have a challenge for every single person on this call because I know a lot of us are not using it, and I have just recently started to use it, and that's the new associate interview. It's huge, and I loved how Laura brought it up because I have shied away from using it because for some reason in my mind, I thought that I had to like print it out and mail it to them and have them fill it out and then bring it back, or like I have a Google form, and it's not. She just gets on the phone and she just walks through that and she writes that information down. So I strongly suggest that you guys use the new associate interview. Get to know your people. Guys, Kathy developed it and she knows what she's doing. All right. And get to know their desires. You know, what do they want out of life? You know, and so think about that when you enroll somebody from a product standpoint, and then you start talking to them about their dreams. I mean, it's just like when people feel valued, they show up for themselves and for others. And I loved this too, you know, so raising up your leaders. And here's some verbiage, you guys, that I took from Laura speaking. So if you want to take a picture of this, and you can send this to people. And so raising up your leaders. And so what that means is, and guys, I was totally guilty of this. You know, my first year and a half of building, I tell everybody I was a hot mess. I was a hot mess express. I did nothing right. And, you know, but so raising up your leaders by sitting down with them in a belly to belly. So if you're local, go have a coffee, have them come and sit around your kitchen table. Obviously, that's not feasible for every single person because some people aren't in the same state as you, but hop on a Zoom with them and show them. And so I want to show you guys what I give people when I sit down and I talk to them. So I have this folder. Can you guys see this? Can I get a thumbs up? Or can you guys see this folder? Okay. And you guys, this isn't anything new. It's a folder, and I have in here the Crystal Roadmap, the Leader in Action Formula, the 6 steps to enrolling your first 10 customers, you guys. This is taken right off of Isagenix Business. This is not reinventing the wheel. And then the weekly action scoreboard, you know, of how people can manage their time. And then sit down with your people and message some people with them, you know. And so, and for those of you that are just getting started, you know, if you're not necessarily ready to raise up leaders, this is some verbiage that you can send your wish list. And I love how Laura talked about it as your wish list. I mean, it was awesome. So who are 20 people that you can message like this week, you know, and hey there, I'm starting with an amazing company called Isagenix. I'm excited for the energy I'm going to gain, but even more excited about the opportunity to pay off my student loans. Would you cheer me on? So easy and so authentic, and just plug in your goals in there, you know, and take it a step further with them, because every single person, and this is what Laura said this, you know, that people respond and they're going to say yes, you know, and so then asking them, you know, to do one of 3 things. And this is the verbiage that, you know, I just literally wrote down exactly what Laura said. You know, thank you so much. I'd love if you could do one of 3 things. Cheer me on. Do you know of anybody that would want to join me or that would benefit from these products or opportunity? Or I would absolutely love if you actually joined me. We would have so much fun. It would mean so much to me. What do you think? You know, it's just so seamless and it's so authentic. Take a picture. I recommend everybody takes a picture. And I love this quote, be brave so others, so others can be brave too. You guys, and it's like we don't know. Every day when we wake up and we share our story and we share our journey and we say hi to somebody or we get to know somebody, you have no idea what they're going through. And, you know, just wake up and be so empowered that the world literally needs you. The world needs you to show up, because somebody out there needs you to help them change their lives. And the reality is you're going to make mistakes. You know, you're going to make mistakes. You're probably going to say the wrong thing. You might verbal vomit. Guys, we've literally went through it. You know, you have to kind of go through it and find your groove. But as long as you're being authentic, as long as you're being you and you're sharing your story and people know why you're doing this. That's the biggest thing. You know, if people know why you're doing this, then they're necessarily they will join you eventually. You're planting seeds and they will join you. And so, you know, I challenge every single person to, when you get off this Zoom, if you're going to go do an accountability Zoom, or if you're going to, you know, talk with people, or, you know, if you want to just hook up with me, that's totally fine. But go to your Facebook page and scroll down it. And what does it look like? What do people see? Do people know what you do? And do they know why you do it? You know, and the thing is it doesn't necessarily have to be these amazing, like, novel posts. It can just be, is it authentic to you? Are you sharing your journey? Are you sharing why you're doing this? It's huge. You know, and then continuing on. Authenticity is massive, you guys. That's so big. You know, and it is so easy to share a product post on your page, and you know, it's so easy to send a script, like a canned script, you know, but the thing is that's easy to do, but it's almost impossible to build a business with, you know. And so, you know, voice messages, love voice messages, get to know people, get your confidence and your posture high. And that takes time. And so she talks about your belief and getting those things to a 10. And how do you do that is really something that you're going to have to dive in and kind of figure out. And, you know, get with your mentors and, you know, where is your belief lacking? You know, what books do you need to read? And I loved the fact that she didn't give any examples. She didn't give any suggestions whatsoever, because you are the only person that can show up and grow. And that was huge. You know, I loved her training. You know, I didn't for 1 second think it was vague in any way, shape, or form. I thought it was amazing and it was profound. And the takeaway was, okay, I need to figure this out. I know what I need, and I need to go ask those questions to the right people to support me. You know, and anything that's important to you, you guys, it's going to make you nervous. You know, your chicken list, which we're going to talk about in just a second, is going to make you nervous. So do it scared, do it anyways, make the post. And you guys, I make posts and I'm like, oh my gosh, what are people going to think? But I'm like, you know what? I don't really care what people think, because they're not my people. That's not who I'm looking for, you know. And the moral of the story is the growth and the work must be done by you and you alone. That's absolutely it. All right. And then I'm trying to fly, guys. Okay. And so your chicken list, I love this, you know, and so put your vision and your dreams above your ego. That was huge. And Jessica Rigner actually said this quote. I think we were in ACU Philly, and Mandy always says it. I know Mandy's on this call, but your ego is not your amigo, you know, and that's so true. And when we get in our heads about what people are going to think, and, you know, if
heard all this, why is this all repeated?
This is, somebody is not muted. If you guys can mute yourself, that'd be great. So may need to, you know, block people from your circle. And we have something that people need, and to stand tall in that. All right. Cold calling doesn't work, you guys. And this was a really big takeaway too, because this is not cold calling. Like, so Laura said that there's strength in numbers. Okay. So, you know, you can build your network, you know, fast, you know, by reaching out to a lot of people, and yeah, people might join you, you know, but the authenticity is huge. So, you know, making your cold market your warm market, and, you know, identifying the people that want to join you. So, you know, what are the traits that you want? You know, get those up on to your bathroom mirror, wake up in the morning, you know, and, you know, who do you want? We do something kind of like a we are, you know, we are, and we read down the paper, and it's character traits of people that we want to attract into our business. And, you know, finally, the top tip, you guys, from Laura was their dreams become our dreams. Don't let them quit on their dreams. And I love that. And I posted that in our Team Intention page today. You know, and, you know, don't let your people, get to know your people, learn their dreams, and don't let them quit on their dreams. And you guys, social media is absolutely amazing, but use it to support your connecting. You know, it should not necessarily be the only platform. So who can you get out and meet? And, you know, what events can you, you know, put together at your house and invite people into your home? And then next week, you guys, is Overcoming Objections with Angelique Nori. All right, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And you guys, so I just really wanted to recap the call, from Laura this week, because I know a lot of new people joined and they didn't have a chance to necessarily watch it. And hearing things, for a second time doesn't always hurt at all. So you guys, the executive class thread, we will be posting the recordings for Isagenix Business. And then we're going to, really dive into more like practical application of how you can start implementing these things into your business, in the weeks to come. So it's 8:29, but I do want to leave you guys with a couple of challenges. All right. So if you have not already, write these down, you guys. Make your list and prioritize it. So one of my goals is to color code my list. This is going to be crazy because I have like a lot of people on it, but that's okay. And who do I want to reach out to in regards to the products, and then in regards to the opportunity, and who's on my chicken list, because I have a lot of people that are on my chicken list. So I'm going to have 3 different colors. That's what I'm going to do. And really work on contacting a solid group of people within the 24 hours, like Monday, Tuesday, and then focusing on that group to follow up with, and so working on that quality over quantity piece is huge, because I've done that. I've been guilty of that. I'm like, okay, I'm going to send 50 messages. And then, I don't pour into their Facebook pages, and I'm not commenting on things, and I'm not liking on things. And it's just that random message. And then, I became that shake slinger. I love that she said that, and that's just, we don't want to be a shake slinger, so who can you choose, whatever your number is, to really pour into this week and focus, and really feel good about that. And then extending invitations to upcoming events. So, and that's going to be a training, you guys, that's going to be coming up in one of the videos that we're going to be watching. Someone's going to be doing events, but get an event on your calendar. So Amanda Bice and I, and we've invited a bunch of people, we're doing a super fuel for school, and we're going to, Friday night, we're going to, have people come over and eat some Isagenix and, do things with the kids. We're going to show Dr. Plant's kid video. I'm super excited about that. It'll be fun. And just see what happens. How many people can we expose to Isagenix and get to know? And even if you have an event and nobody shows up and you invite them, those are people to follow up with, especially if people say they're going to come and then they don't come, absolutely follow up with them for sure. So does anybody have anything that they want to add really quick before we hop off? I'm going to check the chat and see if there's any questions. Anything?
I would love to share something real quick.
Yeah.
So I've been reading the book, You're a Badass by Jen Sincero today, and a lot of it was just really speaking to me. And for like part of like, our chicken list and trying to, reach out to people, there's a part in her book that says, watching someone else totally go for it can be incredibly upsetting to the person who spent a lifetime building a solid case for why that can't be them themselves. So I feel like, sometimes people watch us, go off and pursue our dreams, and to them, they still think, well, I can't do that. And I feel like sometimes we have to like remember all these people watching us don't believe in themselves, and to try to pour that belief into them too, not just, buy the products or, this. And that goes back to, you talking about with Laura's video too, connecting with people and being, a human, and just connecting people with people on a level, and not just being a shake slinger. And that kind of just really stood out to me, and something I felt like we're all trying to do and get around and rally behind. And I just thought it was like really cool and important, and a good way to look at it when we get no's or get people who like aren't, feeling our vibes. Maybe that's because they've got something else bigger going on.
Right. That's awesome. Thank you, Abby. You're a badass. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else, guys? Definitely want to respect your time. And thank you, you guys, for listening to the recap of Laura's video. Like I said, we had a lot of people on here that haven't had the opportunity to watch it, and it's always good to go over, some things and take your challenges, you guys, and really start working them. It's going to become a challenge as we go along on this 90-day action plan to take these action steps and implement all of them at the same time. So, and that will become challenging, and reach out to the group, and this is this place. So, if we can kind of just commit to next week to coming with our wins and our frustrations, that would be awesome if you guys can do that. Just, being a community of people who have each other's back. And then one thing, you guys, I did want to put out here, the Race to Retreat is something that everybody deserves to be a part of. And I know a lot of people on here are already signed up for it. But if you have not, it's been posted in HIA, it's been posted in Yacht Club, and it's posted in Team Intention. If you have not yet signed up, please sign up. You guys, it's Wednesdays at 9 p.m. It's 30 minutes, and it's going to be awesome, awesome, awesome training. We're going to have guest speakers, and at the very least, if you can just get on and listen, it's going to be huge. So one of the commitments is to have an event kit, a Core 4 event ticket for the future coming up, which we all can do, but the deadline to sign up for that is tomorrow. And I really encourage every single person to sign up. You guys, it's just an incredible group of women who have come together, who were really, we're tearing down the wall, one team, one family. We can all come together. We can all do this together and create an incredible environment. And so there's going to be incredible guest speakers from all over the company, millionaires from everywhere. Casey's going to do one. Casey and Alex are going to do international strategies. So, that's right up their alley. So, but if nobody has any questions or comments or anything, I will, and yes, that's right. Kathy Coover, she opens up on Wednesday. So you guys want to be on that. It's going to be awesome. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the executive thread if you have anything that you need. Really trying, though, you guys, to keep that thread clean. So if it's like a pertinent question, go ahead and ask it in there, or if you can take it to somebody else, can ask them, please, because we want to keep that thread clean. But I'll drop this recording, and you guys, don't be afraid to invite people just because this has already started. If you are enrolling people, drop them in there, love them through the process, and everyone's welcome at all times. So I'll drop this recording, and then tomorrow, you guys, when I get a hold of Angelique, who is doing Overcoming Objections, and then we'll get together next Sunday. Sound good? All right, you guys, thank you so much. Have an awesome night. Adios.